lips of every politician, political stakeholders in River State, the forthcoming local government election. And it's still causing people to respond and react in several ways. In fact, if you had followed the news, you would hear some parties now declaring their interests. How many of these parties we are yet to hear from? The major ones, the very popular ones. That would include the PDP, the APC, the Labour Party, the SDP. Name them? Which other party do we have? The Accord Party, and so on and so forth. I mean, we're yet to hear from these ones, but hopefully in the coming days we'll begin to see more of them come out to declare their interests. But what is even concerning to many people is how this election would turn out. I had two guests yesterday, and if you had followed the conversation, you would have heard one of them, Mr. Chinedu, who was an aide to George Ariolu while he was the chairman of Obiakpo Council, saying that on their part, he believes that the timing of this is not right. The fact that, in fact, RISEC is deciding to come out of this election now. But that's not just the only focus. IPAC have also been very critical about this election. And going forward, there are those that would like to see what IPAC will do. Because some people may have their reasons, have questioned the fairness of IPAC. Some of them have said, well, IPAC is becoming biased, or they're now taking sides, or they are not criticizing as they ought to, and the list goes on and on. But regardless, in these times, well, everybody's calling for one thing, a peaceful local government elections. There are those that believe that the date for the election is just too close, it's just a couple of months away. There are those that would argue that, well, putting the election at that time already is faulting provisions of the law, because they felt that the election should have been conducted before the expiration of the tenures, or upon the expiration of the tenures of the council chairman. So there's just a lot around this mix, and hopefully on the show today we'll be able to uncover them and understand IPAC's position and how they intend to ensure that every participant in this election would end up towing the path of peace, and we eventually have not just a peaceful election, but an election that will be seen as fair, which is very much important. My guest this morning is the IPAC chairman in River State, Solsueme Osaro, who will be joining us in the studio this morning. And our first question, in fact, to you who's listening, is how intense do you think this local government election would be? We already have some people that think it would be really intense because of the political situation in River State following the divides and mixed loyalties that we have. There are those that feel that, well, the idea of the CTC chairman in the various councils is for political reasons. There are those that argue that the fight by our immediate past council chairman to remain in power is also for political reasons. And all of these political reasons, many are saying, is pointing towards one direction, and that is to see who emerges as the new leaders of the various councils across the state. So you would say that every indication is pointing towards the direction of a very intense local government election. Well, but how intense it would be is the question. One that many would not want to hear is violence. We don't want that. But let us know what you think about this, how intense the local government elections would be, looking at the recent activities we have seen at the various councils that even led to the police barricading various secretariats, and now that we still have some of the chairmen holding on to their office and insisting that they still are in charge and still are the chairman. there's supposed to be, I think, a ruling, a case that's supposed to be heard in Abuja today with regards to some cases filed by the immediate past chairman who just served their tenure, questioning several things, including the conduct of election. Well, we'll wait and see the outcome of that one. On Facebook, we are streaming live at Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. Again, we're streaming live on Facebook at Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. So please do well to join us there and drop your comments. And don't forget to also send in your WhatsApp messages at 0809 030 6416. Some people calling for a postponement, say postpone the elections. We do not need it now. I'll be taking some of your messages on Facebook. I'll be opening the phone lines as well to get your thought. There are those who say, go ahead with it. After all, it is what everybody has been calling for. So let's get into it and let us get it done with. And we have a constitutionally recognized leadership at the local government levels. Well, let's find out what you think. 0817 923 0002. 0817-923-0003. Good morning. Just tell us your name and where you're calling from and straight to the point.
Ifemi, Andrew, good morning.
Good morning to you.
My name is Kowate Magnus. I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
All right, Kowate Magnus, go ahead.
I want to quickly say that River State belongs to all, and we deserve better and equitable governance from our leaders. And as such, I believe in INEC, and I believe in their capability to conduct free, and fair election in Rivers.
You mean RISEC?
The local government election. What I expect the INEC, the RISEC, Rivers State to do is to create an enabling environment where all candidates or parties can be able to participate. We were all in these states. What happened in last election, where some certain political parties were curtailing others not to, campaign or do other things. But I believe in this time around things will change. And I also expect the governor to create an environment where all parties can be able to express their manifesto and what they intend to do in the local government. I think if this is done, we can have a credible election. But if this is not done, and we continue to, tow this part we are towing in the state, I don't see INEC coming out with anything tangible or credible. Thank you so much, Andrew.
Thank you very much. And it's not just the elections itself, it's the process. The campaigns and all that would follow, because people would have to go to various wards to campaign. And the thing is, good morning, Nigeria Info. Okay, we lost both those calls. Good morning, Nigeria Info.
Hello, good morning, Nigeria Info.
Yes, morning to you.
Ifemi Andrew, good morning. This is Akuku from Abokeche.
Okay.
So, Ifemi Andrew, let me tell you, for me, the governor, if at all he would respect, they want to fix the local government chairman on October. Let them fix the local government chairman. Let us do it. They want to. If at this thing we're dodging, what are we dodging again? We have come out. I is Akuku supporting the scene to conduct the local government chairman. He should not postpone anything. What is going to happen? If this weekend you will fix it, what are they waiting for? I support it to conduct the local government chairman. Thank you. This is Akuku from Okeche.
All right. Good morning, Nigeria Info. All right, we lost that call now. Good morning.
Yes, Andrew. Once again, I want to say that, I never really marshal out my point. But due to time, I have to stay away for others. And this is Isaiah George from Buguma in Calabar. Andrew, regarding the situation on ground, let me take it from where I stopped. I was saying that the governor has tolerated enough to the point that he was insulted by a former LG chairman openly in the stage. But yet, at the end of the day, for the first time, we saw the governor who still releases all the orders for the payment of the former local government chairman and their councillor. It has go to the north, the west. It can't happen. I have not seen such a personality. Now, calling, everybody was saying that let local government election be conducted looking at the Supreme Court judgment and all of that. Now today you see that people are actually going against the same call that they said that let an elected local government chairman be elected. Now today you see people, what do they want for the state? If this state fall into crisis, they should understand that it will affect them, it will also affect me, it will affect every one of us. That is why we sue for peace from the beginning. And we have a governor who is very peaceful. Why can't they take it from that governor and see how we can move the state forward? Instead of this everyday political crisis, everyday political misunderstanding and all of that.
Thank you, George. We have to get on to another caller. George really loves to exhaust his thoughts whenever he's on the phone. But then we have to limit it. Good morning.
Shemi, good morning.
Yes, good morning to you.
Look, Shemi, this is the African woman, Miriam.
Okay.
Shemi, what I think the people that are crying foul did earlier was, they were just testing the water, calling for a local government election. When they know clearly that they are not prepared, they don't have the resources, they don't have even the technical, they have nothing, nothing. Now the governor has come out to tell them, okay, you want a local government election, I'm going to give you a local government election. And now they're crying foul. Look, we're going to give them a resounding local government election. And the candidates, the people that are crying foul, most of them are in PDP, we know, but the people on the governor's side are going to sweep it up. Look, they're prepared to give them a local government election and let them go and set their house in order.
All right.
This is what they want, and we're not going to keep the date. It is going to be on that.
All right, Muriel, we'll take a commercial now. right, conversation continues on the show this morning, and yes, we still are looking at, well, the local government elections in the state. The announcement and timetable have been released, and parties are already showing interest. But whether we are going to have a fair and intense election, all indices on ground points towards the direction of a very keenly contested one, especially when you put into consideration the political situation in the state in recent months. Well, some of our callers have already aired their thoughts. Some think we should get on with it and get over with it. Others feel that, well, it shouldn't be done now. We still need to ensure some level of calm before we consider venturing into that. Well, I don't know what your thoughts are, but if you go on X, we have a poll to help us, get your ideas about this and manage your thoughts. So on X, we need you to tell us how intense you think the forthcoming local government election would be in the state. Is it going to be a mild competition? Is it going to be an intense competition? Or is it going to be one that would be marred with violence? Well, we'll figure out all of this. We'll go back to the phone line and take a few calls. My guest just joined us in the studio. He was held up in traffic, hence the reason why he couldn't make it in time. I mean, you know what the situation is at the Rimouski axis, so it's a very serious one. But at the end, here he is, and he would be sharing his own perspective to this and what IPAC intends to do about it. Is the IPAC chairman in Rivers State. Mr. Osaro, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ifeami, and good morning, Rivers people.
All right, let's take a few calls first before we come back to you. Good news in Mile 3. Let's hear you quickly, straight to the point. Good news, good morning.
Good morning, my brother, man.
Yeah.
I want to say that the election that is coming up will be peaceful. I happen to be part of those that unveiled the timetable. And I heard the IPAC chairman spoke. And questions were put to everybody. And they said they are ready for election. The PDP were there, they spoke. The APC were there, they spoke. I am APC. And I spoke. And I will tell you, fair, my brother, the way APC will win every seat will amaze you. We will win all the seats. We will campaign very vigorously. I believe the governor means well. He wants it better. Last time the governor sounded, he has not sounded as one who will be impulsive, who will impose positions on people. He will allow people to go and pick forms, campaign, and from who I heard Justice Ebele spoke, he meant well too. He has said that they will do the best so that the elections are free. Saying, I want to assure you that this election will be free of any problem. The APC which I belong to, we will compare.
All right, good news. Thank you. To Yenegua now, we have David on the line. Good morning, David.
Greetings from the city of Yenegua to you.
Greetings. Greetings
My name
to you.
is David West.
Go on, please.
Yes, I am also part of the people that is of the opinion that this election is something that would have been conducted before now. The governor knew very well that the tenure of the former chairman was going to expire. And by virtue of the provisions of the law, elections would have been conducted before now, and democratically elected chairmen and councillors would have manned the office rather than the caretaker chairman we're having, which I know most of the caretaker chairmen will automatically be the chairman of the council because they will certainly contest for this election. Anyway, for the reset, I know it is a normal tradition that PDP will carry the whole councillors and chairmen. The other parties, they will be nowhere. For IPAC, I know IPAC is not a very serious organization with due respect to them. What IPAC will be after of is what they want to get from the election. Not as if their parties are going to win a councillor, not even half a penny chairman, they will win. So for me, it's just mere formality, so that the governor will say he will not be, or Rivers State will not be counted as one of the 21 states that are running Africa.
All right, David.
This is just my humble submission to this. Good morning.
We would hear from Barine and Robin, and then we come over to the IPAC chairman here in the studio. Barine from Thai, good morning.
Well, good morning. A sound greeting from Thai local government.
Yes.
To our people in the studio.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
This is a democratic elections that we have been hoping for, including the opponent in the PDP, which we can't deny ourselves. They have been agitating. Tony Okocha and his led group been shouting that out of the 9 agenda that was given from Abuja, that they are interested in election. The governor have diligently made this plan. And you can't start elections without organizing the local government structure, which the city chairman is there, especially in Thai. Honorable Matthew Dike, everybody is ready. RISIEC knows that is their responsibility. And I want to suggest more. The security agency needs more because, at times when 2 parties are agitating, who their times are elongated, they don't want to leave. I want to tell you the governor of Rivers State have made all ingredients to prepare the good soup and dish for the Rivers people.
All right.
The election will go free. Thank you so much.
Robin, and after Robin, my guest would lay his own thoughts bare. Robin from Eche, good morning to you.
Good morning, my brother. It's Andrew.
Yeah, you're welcome, Robin. Go on.
Good morning, Mr. Robin.
God bless you. The election will hold. It should hold as stipulated by RISIEC. You see, sometimes when we discuss these issues, I will hear people are fighting. And I say that they are not fighting. They are only dragging a porridge of beans that belongs to everyone that is a River State individual. Either you're partisan or not. The vegetable we eat, we go to the market to buy, is not in APC, neither PDP or any party. And I keep telling us that River State does not belong to any political party, either party B, party A. If we stand aloof and we refuse to talk and act, we seem to be a conquered people. Look at what is playing out. Those of them crying now, the porridge of beans is out of their hands. That is a cry now. Over the years that I have been shouting, that even when the former governor told us in the public glare that his River State youths are hungry, what did we do? What did they do? I know some of those advisors for the governor of polling units. If you look at their face now, they are hungrier now than before. Election has been slated. But the governor, I want to advise the governor, he should remember what happened when the current minister of FDP was minister in Abuja and Rotimi Wikemeji was the governor. And police is always a ready tool to the executive, mostly those who are power ahead. He should be worried and he should act like Sam Rampa, the man who sees tomorrow, so that the election will be free and fair.
All right, Robin, thank you very much.
Good morning. I remain the farmer. God bless.
All right, quickly, let's come to Mr. Osaro in the studio. And you heard some of the callers. Aside David from Yenagoa, who says for him it doesn't have any high regard for IPAC. I would like you to start by telling us how intense do you think the forthcoming elections would be? Because we have a poll up on X, and I mean the numbers are very, very interesting. Is it going to be mildly competitive? Is it going to be intensely competitive? Or is it one that we should expect some level of violence? We're not praying for that. But the indices on the ground and the activities in the past couple of months up until this point seems to point towards one direction. I would let you tell us which direction you think.
Well, Mr. Fiemi, thank you so much. And let me quickly appreciate the decent-minded callers with conscience. Who really want the best for River State. And this state belongs to all of us, and we must do the needful at all times. And so thanks to all the callers, Mr. Good News, Mr. Robin, and others. I can mention their names. Well, let me quickly address the caller who made the derogatory statement about IPAC. The same caller will not have said this in the last dispensation. So we know he's already biased. But we're not worried by that because everyone is entitled to his opinion. It's a free society. But we stand to correct those impressions. IPAC is a responsible body. It's an umbrella body of all political parties in Rivers State. I want to commend the chairmen, members of IPAC, who have done diligently well, who have shown enormous strength and courage to come out to participate in this exercise. As I speak to you, right from the day the stakeholders meeting took place, more than 15 political parties have indicated their interest to contest in this election.
Does that include the APC and the PDP?
They have the right to indicate or not. But the rules are very
You
clear.
say more than 15.
More than 15,
That's what I'm
yes.
asking, for those that have, does it include the PDP and the APC?
I can't speak for them because I
Okay.
didn't see them. You
All
know.
right.
Now, the rules are very clear. If you intend to contest this election, you submit your letter of intent, expressing your interest to contest as a party. And then you proceed to pick the expression of interest forms as designed by RISEC. These two processes, the parties I'm talking about have fulfilled them. They have indicated interest to contest via application letters written to RISEC, and they've also gotten their expression of interest forms from RISEC. And that indicates that the parties are ready to contest this election.
Among these 15 parties, are there any that we know? Aside the APC and PDP, which you have said, I mean, you can't talk for them because...
As I speak to you...
Can you give us some of the names of the 15?
The Social Democratic Party, which of course is my own party. I'm the state chairman of SDP, who have picked an expression of interest form. The Zenith Labour Party have picked. The Accord have picked. The Labour Party have picked. The APP have picked. The ADC have picked. NRM have picked. And others. Both party have picked. So all the parties, as I speak to you, have picked their expression of interest form.
Except for the PDP and APC, that you are yet to...
They want, Good News spoke here, and he told you that APC is ready to participate in the election. And of course, you and I know, it's a very common knowledge in the public domain that today we have, APC factionalized.
Yeah, which is where I'm coming
You
to.
understand?
And we have similar situation in the PDP too.
So, if a faction is ready to participate in the election, so be it. But you and I also know that the case of APC is very critical because they are in court. Chief Emeka Beke has, took Chief Tony Okocha to court. They are in court. So we would not want to dabble into issues that are before courts of competent jurisdiction.
What of the PDP?
Well, the PDP reserves the right to participate or not if they want to. You understand? Like I mentioned earlier during the press briefing, parties reserve the right to participate in an election. Party reserves the right not to participate. We have parties today in Rivers State. It's not just a one-party show. It's not just a one-party affair. So any party that wishes to contest this election, first, you go and indicate your interest by writing to indicate that, yes, you're going to contest the election. And then pick your interest form from RISEC. And so if you've not done those two things, then you don't begin to ask or, look for blames. Therefore, I want to tell you categorically that parties who are associated, who are registered, known, and who are members of IPAC have indicated their interest to contest. And you know that these processes can only be driven by political parties. And the citizens belongs to various parties. And from what we have seen today, the environment is very friendly. The environment is very kind, very calm. This environment I'm talking about is the political environment that is headed by a very peaceful, human-minded governor. His Excellency Salman Fubra. We know the way things were done in the past 8 years. We have seen the way things are going today. So every decent-minded person will draw a line.
In the past 8 years, you were part of IPAC.
Yes.
What's the difference between then and now?
Clear. The differences are very, very clear and glaring. Before now, IPAC used to be a one-party affair. It's as if the ruling party must be the chairman of IPAC, and which was what some persons tried to do earlier this year when they attempted to usurp, to take over forcefully the leadership of IPAC. So in the past, you will never see, you have not seen, and it's not even on record, that other parties will produce the leadership of IPAC, except on one or two occasions, Like when we have about 94 parties, when someone who was not in the ruling party emerged as the IPAC chairman, and when there was a lacuna, a gap, and somebody else took over as IPAC chairman, apart from those two occasions, we have never seen any other party come out clearly to lead IPAC. So in the present situation, the political environment headed by a conscience-minded governor allowed the fairness and free play to prevail in IPAC. And that was how I emerged as IPAC chairman. I contested the election on the 18th of April, and I won as IPAC chairman. And other members of IPAC won other positions. Unlike before, when you can never have it that way. So presently, that is one major difference. Again, you see, IPAC today have set a standard in Rivers State. For the first time in the history of IPAC in Rivers State, IPAC never had an office, even when you had ruling parties leading IPAC. But today, IPAC have a secretariat you can refer to as IPAC secretariat.
So if all this was happening under the past administration,
it never happened.
Years, no, in the last 8 years, all this didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
What did IPAC do about it? Because we didn't seem to hear what you're saying now.
Well, you knew, if fortunately you could have asked this question to the former IPAC chairman that was dissolved. I'm talking about Desmond Akawo. He was dissolved, and so this question would have been appropriately asked to him. But he's not here right now, and I'm talking to you and on record. Every time saying here is on record, you can do your due findings. IPAC never had a secretariat since the inception of IPAC in Rivers State. The IPAC affairs were run from the office of the sitting PDP chairman then. Today, IPAC have staffs. There are staffs working with IPAC. Today, IPAC have a magazine, a bi-monthly magazine. We launched our first magazine on the 27th of May this year. And as I speak to you, IPAC held the first ever South-South Zonal Leadership Conference in Rivers State. IPAC has never organized any program, any interactive program in Rivers State before. And so the IPAC you have today
far back is beyond the past 8 years.
It's on record. You can do your findings. As I speak to you, we have brought in a lot of innovative designs and creativity into IPAC. Now, our concern is we must protect democracy. We must protect democracy. The institutions, democratic institutions that are on ground today are midwifed by members of IPAC. Nobody becomes a governor, becomes a senator without passing through a political party.
How do you, sorry to interrupt, but how do you draw the line as IPAC and be objective and not be partisan? Looking at the fact that members of IPAC belong to their own political parties.
Yes.
In an election like this that's coming, and you as IPAC, association of all the political parties, how do you draw the line and appear to be seen as fair and free to all?
You see, the beauty of democracy is when you have the eagle perch, the sparrow perch, the robin perch, and even the cock can also perch. You have various political parties, and these parties are individual entities that are guided by rules, that are ready to express their interests, that are ready to show their capabilities. And the only way you can have these capabilities expressed or showed are in elections. And so, if parties comes up to indicate that yes, we want to contest election, it means the parties are ready for it. So the line you're talking about could be an imaginary line. Because honestly, if a party comes out, files candidates, and are contesting an election, there is no other imaginary line or no line you want to draw. They have indicated their interest. The only lacuna is, like in the past, we saw local government elections, which we participated in as a party. Other parties participated in. But we never had that fairness because the political environment was not friendly.
How was it not made fair, and what would be done different this time? And how is IPAC, in fact, going to ensure that this election would be different from the ones that is held before?
Yes. One, we have conscientized ourselves. The entire parties are ready and determined to contest the election. Two, unlike what we saw in the last local government election, the scenario today is clearly different, because we have seen somebody who has come up to tell us this is the rule. In fact, the research chairman threw the challenge back to political parties in the last stakeholders meeting. And we came out and told him we are ready to take that challenge, that we are ready to contest by your law, by your rules. And so it is necessary to allow the system to begin to unfold before we. So we are ready as parties to contest this election. And we have seen RISEC have indicated her readiness to play by the rules. And we have also seen that RISEC is an agency of the government established by law. Now, the government of the day is a friendly government. I can tell you authoritatively why I'm saying this. It's a friendly government. It's a government that listens. It's a government with open mind. It's a government that wants the best for people.
All right.
If not, as I speak to you today, the governor would have kept using caretaker committee chairman to run his race. But you have seen the governor that came up barely a month after the caretakers were inaugurated. RISEC have rolled out timetables for election. In the past, we saw the former governor ran caretaker committees for a long time.
But was it not passed by law at the time?
Which law?
Well, did the Assembly amend the laws in 2018 that enabled him to have run that for the time that he did? Many would say, I mean, if that law was
is the same law obsolete today?
All right, that's a good question to ask.
Law obsolete.
But there are arguments around it. We'll come to that later.
No, we saw where some persons attempted to extend tenures. You understand?
Because we don't have a lot of time, let me quickly come onto Facebook and take a few questions. RISEC should go ahead and conduct the election. Blessed Allah. Ogojana Justice says this election timetable will put some politicians in double jeopardy. If you look at the poll we have on X, how intense you think the elections would be? Would it be mild? The intensity? Some people are saying 37.1% think it will be mildly competitive. It's going to be very intense. You have 25.7% saying that. But then those who believe that we might see some level of violence, 31.1%. So a mild election and a violent election are almost similar, with the votes coming in from Rivers people. So there are those who think we might have a very mild election, not too much to worry about, but same amount of people are very much concerned. Mr. Osaro, unfortunately, time is already out of our hands. We hope that we get more time to do this another time, but we have to wrap up here because we have a commercial. Thank you and good morning.
We're going to get... Okay.